Hey vinyl community, it's Michael. Welcome back to Near Wild Heaven. What we're listening to, this is a band called Index from New York City. This is a re-release of an album that came out in 1967. Really good stuff. Turn us down. Okay, today's video is going to be vinyl finds for the month of May, and what I was listening to, or what I was playing there, the Index album. The song that was playing is called Turquoise Feline, but this is great stuff, kind of similar to the Velvet Underground a little bit, and the guitarist is like, he plays like a surf guitar sound. So kind of the sound is kind of like if Dick Dale was in the Velvet Underground instead of Lou Reed. But yeah, it's really good stuff. Really enjoyed this. I'm so glad I found this great album. It's an Index from 1967, and this is 1984 reissue on Vox Records, but great stuff. So up next we got, this is the Spiders, Don't Blow Your Mind, the Mascot Sessions. This is the complete recording session they did in 1965 for their single Why Don't You Love Me and Don't Blow Your Mind. But it's got multiple versions of, well, there's only 3 songs on here. There's Why Don't You Love Me, Don't Blow Your Mind, and a cover of an old R&B song called Hitchhike. But there's 2 versions of Why Don't You Love Me. No, I'm sorry, there's 3 versions of Why Don't You Love Me, 3 versions of Don't Blow Your Mind, and 2 versions of Hitchhike. And some of it they just get jamming on, and it sounds pretty good. But yeah, this is a really good historical recording. If you're into like the Alice Cooper band, the original band, this is where they started. And it's a great album. a good historical document. And it also came with this. This is their business card, a replica of their business card. Also have the photo of the band there. And it came with this little promotional button that was designed by Glenn Buxton's sister, I think. But yeah, really good, cool stuff to have if you're a Alice Cooper fan. So up next, this is Frank Zappa, Waka Jawaka. This is a sequel to Hot Rats. This came out in 1972. It's on his Bizarre label. There. Yeah, it's a great album. If you like the first Hot Rats, you'll probably really like this one too. It's in the same vein, jazz rock fusion, but really good stuff from Frank Zappa. Side 1 is all one song called Big Swifty. Side 2 is 3 songs, Your Mouth, It Just Might Be a One-Shot Deal, and Waka Jawaka. There you go, Frank Zappa, Waka Jawaka from 1972. And up next, this is the Twinkies, Alpha Jerk. This came out in 1979. This is on SS Records. These guys were like new wave with kind of quirky touches to it. They do songs like Aliens in Our Midst, Tonight Again, Sweet Nothing, ESP, the Twinkies theme, all pretty good stuff. If you like strange new wave, this might be right up your alley. The Twinkies, Alpha Jerk from 1979. And up next, this is an upgrade for me. This is the Small Faces. There are but 4 Small Faces. Contains Itchy-Coo Park, probably their most well-known song. This came out in 1967. This is a U.S. version. This was put together for the U.S. market. It's made up of songs from some of their other British albums and singles. But yeah, great stuff on here. Itchy-Coo Park, Talk to You, Up the Wooden Hills is really good. Tin Soldier is a great song, just fantastic. But Here Come the Nice is great, and Green Circles. But all really good stuff from the Small Faces from 1967. There are but 4. And up next, this is New Bomb Turks, Pissing Out the Poison. It's a compilation of singles that we recorded between 1990 and 1994. But great punk rock, melodic, similar to, I don't want to say Green Day, but it's kind of around in there somewhere, but a little bit rougher, not as polished as Green Day. But I think these guys are better than Green Day. I really like these guys. But yeah, great stuff. They're from Columbus, Ohio. I don't think they're around anymore, but yeah, really good stuff. They do songs like Tall Crush, Out of My Mind, Crying in the Beer of a Drunk Man, Let's Dress Up the Naked Truth, We Need More, Sharpen Up Time. Pretty good stuff from the New Bomb Turks. If you like punk rock, you should check these guys out. They're pretty good. New Bomb Turks, Pissing Out the Poison. And up next, this is Glass Harp, Synergy. This is their third album from 1971. This features Phil Keaggy on lead guitars, excellent guitarist. The sound on this, the music is kind of like prog, but with touches of psychedelia. And their first album has more of a psychedelic feel to it. The guitar on that is really psyche. But this one, it still has the psychedelic touches, but it's kind of leaning more towards a prog sound. But still, great stuff. The words to all the songs, great shot of the band, and there's another shot of the band right there. But really good stuff if you like prog with touches of psych and great guitar playing. Check this band out if you don't already know about them. Glass Harp Synergy. And up next, this is Sons of the Dolls. This is a compilation of 4 bands that feature former members of the New York Dolls. The band called the Idols features Arthur Kane on bass and Jerry Nolan on drums, along with Steve Dior on guitar and Barry Jones on guitar. And then you have the Criminals, which features Sylvain Sylvain on guitar and lead vocals, along with Michael Page, Bobby Blaine, and Tony Machine on drums. And Killer Kane Band has Arthur Kane, of course, on bass and vocals, along with Blackie Guzman, Andy J, and Jimmy Image on drums. And the last band, Corpse Grinders, has Arthur Kane on bass, along with Rick Ribbets on guitar, Stu Wilder on vocals, and Jimmy Chris on drums. But pretty good stuff. The song the Idols do called Girl That I Love is really good. And the Criminals song, The Cops Are Coming, is great. And Killer Kane Band does a pretty good song called Mr. Cool, plus a couple other ones. And Corpse Grinders do a song called Mental Moron. That's really good. But yeah, good stuff to check out if you're a fan of the New York Dolls. Sons of the Dolls, 4 bands featuring former members of the New York Dolls. And up next, this is Tomorrow. This originally came out in 1967. This is a Record Store Day reissue from 2015. This is a mono version of this album, and it's on this really cool, if I can get it out of here, really cool splatter vinyl. But yeah, it's psychedelic, British psych. It has Steve Howe on guitar and Twink on drums. Steve Howe would go on to be in Yes in a few years past this, and Twink, of course, has been in The Pretty Things, The Deviants, The Pink Fairies. Well, I'm not sure if he's in The Deviants, but he was in The Pink Fairies. But yeah, they do great stuff on here. They're probably best known for the song My White Bicycle. It's a great song. And they also do a cover of the Beatles' Strawberry Fields Forever, which isn't bad. The Beatles version is better, but this one's pretty good. But yeah, great album, great psych album from the 60s. The band Tomorrow. Great stuff. And up next, this is Funkadelic Hardcore Jollies. This came out in 1976. It was their second album on Warner Brothers Records. But yeah, great stuff from Funkadelic. R&B, funk. They do songs like Osmosis Phase 1, Coming Round the Mountains, Smokey. If You Got Funk, You Got Style, the title song, Hardcore Jollies. All great stuff from Funkadelic. It's one of my favorite R&B funk bands. There you go for that. Funkadelic, Hardcore Jollies. And up next, from the 80s, we got the Fixx, Shuttered Room. This is their first album on MCA Records. Came out in 1982. Features a song, Red Skies at Night. A great song. Also, Stand or Fall is really good. And Shuttered Room, the title song, is great. But yeah, all really good if you like 80s. I don't think they use synthesizer on here. It doesn't really say anything about who plays what. But yeah, great stuff from the Fixx. Early 80s, kind of new wavy. The Fixx, Shuttered Room. And up next, this is Suzi Quatro, her first album from 1974. This is on Bell Records. A lot of the songs on here are Chapman Chin. Well, actually, there's only like 4 songs on here by Chapman Chin. They also do a version of I Want to Be Your Man, the song that the Beatles wrote for the Rolling Stones. And also a cover of Shakin' All Over, like a great 50s rock song. But yeah, this is really good. It came out during the height of the glam era. Really loud guitars, stomping beats, just great stuff from Suzi Quatro, her first album from 1976. My favorite song on here, 48 Crash, is really good. Official Suburban Superman is great, and the version of All Shook Up is pretty good too. So yeah, great stuff from Suzi Quatro, her first album from 1974. And a few more here. Up next, this is the Posies, Amazing Disgrace. This came out in, I'm not even sure, I would say sometime in the mid to late 90s. I don't see any info on here on when this came out, but yeah, and it's autographed. I think it might be autographed by Ken Stringfellow, one of the members of the band, but I can't really tell. It might just be somebody who scribbled around on the album, but the album's in pretty good shape, and it's really good stuff. It's like power pop, 90s power pop. Songs like Daily Mutilation is really good. Throwaway, Hate Song, Precious Moments, Fight It If You Want It, Everybody's a Fucking Liar. All pretty good stuff from the Posies if you like power pop style from the 90s with great like ringing guitars and stuff. This is really good to check out. The Posies, Amazing Disgrace. And up next, got a couple more here. Up next, this is The Dark, Dressing the Corpse, the name of the album. This is a band from Cleveland. It's a hardcore punk band from the 80s. This was recorded in 1984, but it wasn't released until just a few months ago. So yeah, but it's great stuff. It's like I said, hardcore punk. They do songs like Beyond the Ice, Fire in the Church, No Eyes, Resurrection, Screeching Metal, Put Your Hand Through the Plastic, Dancing with the Dead, Hit Squad, and they do a version of a song called Six and Change that was originally done by another Cleveland punk band called The Pagans. But yeah, this great stuff from The Dark, Dressing the Corpse. And the last one here, this is Nash the Slash, and You Thought You Were Weird is the title of the album. Great stuff from Nash the Slash. This guy was like, he used a lot of electronics. He was a one-man band. He'd get on stage, he'd get these rhythm machines going and stuff, and then he would play electric violin along with it. And it sounded pretty trippy, but this is a pretty good album. Do songs like Citizen, Pretty Folks, RSVP, Vincent Crow, Dance After Curfew, The Hypnotist, all pretty good stuff. I'm not really sure who I could compare this to give you an idea of the sound, but just check it out if you're curious. Nash the Slash, and You Thought You Were Weird. This came out in 1982. So there you go, Nash the Slash. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks to everyone who subscribed in the last few weeks. Thanks to everyone who leaves comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be set for life. So thanks so much to everybody for sticking around and watching all this. And I guess that'll be it for this week. And we'll see you all later.